Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Demo Day for the Georgetown Startup Accelerator. We're excited for our event today to get to feature the work of some of our alumni entrepreneurs. It's fitting that this event comes today, which is National Entrepreneurship Day here in the United States. And we want to celebrate entrepreneurs because entrepreneurs are combining their passion, resilience, and ingenuity to solve hard problems that create businesses and products that improve our lives. We're thrilled to see. It's one of the most noble activities you might do in your life is to create something of value to others and to do it with ethics and values the way we learn at Georgetown. So we're excited for our Demo Day event today. My name is Jeff Reed. I'm the founder of the Georgetown Entrepreneurship Initiative. Joining me today, to help manage our event will be Tori Pratt, who is the founder of Pratt Standard and a graduate of our Startup Accelerator in the last cohort and a graduate of the School of Foreign Service. She will be the MC for most of the program. And you'll also hear from Howard Eisenberg and Callie Jacobs, the co-directors of the Georgetown Startup Accelerator. Howard is an entrepreneur in residence for Georgetown, and Callie is the program manager for our Georgetown Venture Lab. So those are the folks that'll help us through today's event. Next up, we have our keynote speaker. I'm happy to introduce the founder of Monumental Sports and Entertainment and CEO there, the league-leading Washington Wizards and Washington Capitals are part of his portfolio, and a person who, along with his family, has contributed a great deal to support Georgetown entrepreneurship. Here with some words of inspiration is Ted Leonsis.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the invite, Jeff. And for National or Global Entrepreneur Day, you're like our representative for it. You have the bona fides to do that. And I would like to start off by telling everyone, to those who much is given, much is expected. I started my first company on the campus of Georgetown University in 1975. I was a sophomore in college. We saw that 1976 was the bicentennial, and 30 million tourists were coming into DC, and I decided to start a business to find something to sell everybody. And I had a rich roommate. I didn't have any money, and he venture capitalized me, and I started a snow cone vending business. It was called Snowco Loco Inc. Give your tongue a sleigh ride. And we sold red, white, and blue snow cones. We did introduce variable pricing into the market. We were able to charge differently based on the humidity and what the summer weather was all about. And it's really enlightening. When I was launching the business, there were no tools, no people, no networks, nothing available to help. And I look now at what Georgetown is doing and also what our communities are doing in terms of venture and legal and accounting. And there's so much money available out there to fund good ideas, and maybe more importantly, good people. And in Jeff's preamble, he hit on some themes that are, I think, becoming much more on trend. And it's a reason that Georgetown and our community is becoming so respected. And that's, you want to bet the jockey as well as the horse, and that you want to find companies and entrepreneurs that are worried about common good. And the social responsibility you have of starting a business is enormous, from affecting families, employees, affecting your community, generating tax revenues, creating personal wealth so you can activate your own personal philanthropy. And it's a lot more than just the product or the idea or executing on it. And Georgetown has really emerged as a leader in building that kind of keiretsu. And I'm encouraging everyone here, it's a good start on what you're doing and participating in this. But the more you network, the more you communicate, the more you rely on other leaders in the group, as well as the professors, as well as the infrastructure that Jeff is building, I think the better off you will be. And I looked at the list of the companies and some of the things that you're pursuing. And while you're early in your life cycle, there's some big ideas there. And, I tell people who are starting a company that this isn't a side venture. This isn't a side hustle. Starting companies, and I think I started 4 companies and took them public or sold them, but I've invested now in over 100 startups, one of which was going public, some Georgetown kids, Sweetgreen. But it seems, even during the pandemic, we've backed entrepreneurs from DraftKings that went public and created over $20 billion of value. Sport Radar, same way. I think they have an $8 billion market cap. Big Commerce, which is a competitor to Shopify, it went public. It's got a $5 billion market cap. And you end up seeing some common traits on all of the companies that have gone public and won. And I can also process a lot of those through my experience at AOL. AOL went public in 1992. We raised in our totality $40 million. And 10 years later, we had a $160 billion market cap. That's when that was a lot of money. We were 6th on the New York Stock Exchange as most valuable companies in the world. Now we have trillion and multi-trillion dollar companies. But I was amazed at how efficient we were, even though we had to build our own internet. And I compare that now with entrepreneurs who everyone's raising millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. I have an investment in one company, hopefully will go public in 2022. They've raised $1 billion. And the more money you raise, the more you're beholden to other people's money, as opposed to being beholden to your mission. And I don't know why it's become in vogue, if you will, on how much money I've raised. There's so many different ways to be able to stand up your business. My first company, I relied on vendor capital. I had some software and some technology, and I found a niche in the market and was able to go to big companies like Apple Computer and have them pay me up front in order to launch the business. Steve Jobs wanted something to put in the box for the first couple of million of Macintoshes, and we could do it. But I said, I don't want to go out and raise money speculatively. You pay for it. And I've seen clever ways to get vendor capital, to be able to bring people in to help you, not have to pay them a lot of cash, have them keep working and in their real jobs and give them equity. And being an entrepreneur, at least at the start, is to really be gritty. And that is a trait that will serve you well. I also think a positiveness and belief in what you're doing will go a long way. I went to a wedding on Saturday night in New York, and I sat next to someone who was on the board of directors of E.F. Hutton and Company, a company that's kind of long gone out of business. And I had an idea for my first business and went up, had a friend who worked at E.F. Hutton, and he introduced me, and I went to their board. They weren't really organized to make venture capital investments in a company. So I literally had to go to the whole board. And he was reminding me, this was 1981. I think I was 25 years old at the time. And I pitched them on this convergence that would happen between personal computers. IBM had just introduced the PC and networks, and There wasn't an internet yet. In fact, it was illegal to get on the internet, but that you could download and the like. And I finished my presentation. They asked me to leave. And when I came back in, the chairman of the company, his name was Robert Foman. This gentleman I was with was on the board. And Foman said, "Young man, I don't understand a single thing that you said, but I think you can sell snow to Eskimos, and you're so passionate about this, and this seems like a safe bet. And your associate has really vouched for you in terms of personal integrity and honesty and commitment. So we're going to give you $1 million." And back then that was huge money, but I had the imprimatur of having a large Wall Street firm believing in me. And it made it easier as I accomplished something to go raise money. Mostly today, you see people trying to raise money to accomplish something. And, you know, as a venture capital PE firm partner owner at Revolution, I'm really putting pressure on our entrepreneurs that their metric of success is not the money that they're raising, it's the customers, it's the product, it's the market positioning. And if you get those right, then you can raise a lot of money. Just raising a lot of money with the promise of doing those things, I think while it's worked over the last decade, you're going to see a lot more skepticism coming into the market. And so the personal integrity and the ability to admit failure, the ability to be able to sense and respond and have honest communications with your investors and your board, I think situates people very well. You look at some of the big wins that are out there now and the trouble that the entrepreneurs are getting into because they've lost their way. They are no longer really about the common good, but more about the equity appreciation. You know, I was the first investor through AOL in Google, and we owned 8% of Google. We did very well on that investment. And, you know, they used to talk about do no evil. And now they've lost their way. Facebook was a ripoff of an AOL service. Mark hacked into AIM, AOL's instant messaging, and really was all about community, which was what we were trying to create. And once those algorithms are coded and programmed, you lose control of them. And so the Google algorithm, the Facebook algorithms, it's doing evil. But the founding mission of the company was noble. And so again, just through experience, I'm saying we're all going to rely on technology and cloud and algorithms, but if it's not programmed the right way, you'll lose your way. And one of the great things about Georgetown is how they're teaching and encouraging and celebrating doing the right things in the right way. What I'm hoping to be able to prove out is that nice guys don't have to finish last, and that if you do the right things the right way, your metrics of success aren't just about dollars. It's about your reputation, your legacy, the impact you've had on families' lives, on the community that you're serving, the local community that you're serving. Paying taxes and creating jobs is more important than being a politician. Being an entrepreneur doesn't mean you have to start a company. You can be an entrepreneur and get into politics and help to right size and jumpstart the political landscape. You can go work at the church, right, and help a church become more entrepreneurial, more connected to its customer base. And that's another thing about Georgetown that I love in terms of its ethos, that teaching individuals how to be entrepreneurs, how to be able to transform the organizations that they're involved with is incredibly important. And I'll conclude with a life lesson, some life lessons. As some of you know, the first company that I started, I exited and made a lot of money. And I was a poor kid, first generation only kid in my family to go to college. My dad was a Greek immigrant. And at a very young age, I started a company and sold it and made $60 million. And I had been programmed by my parents, kind of the American dream, to work hard, get good grades, get into a good school, get scholarships, graduate, get a good job, make a lot of money, full stop, you're a success. And so I did all of that in a very, very accelerated fashion. And I was not prepared for the success. I also wasn't prepared on the bumps along the road to get to success, on failure. In fact, failure was looked at back in the 70s and 80s as if you failed once, you were done. It was kind of a stain on you. And I sold my company, made a lot of money, and lost my way. And then I got on the wrong airplane. And as the plane was going down and you start to make your gut check, I wasn't missing, the terror wasn't around not being at my new home that I had bought or missing my car. It was about much more important spiritual things. And obviously I made it through, and I made my list of 101 things to do before I die. You can go online and find it. But even that was empty calories. I said, I'm going to play offense with the rest of my life. You're not promised anything in terms of time. Speed is of the essence. And I wanted to check off all 101 things to do. I think I'm at 92 now, which scares me because I hope I don't get to 101 and then it's over. And maybe I have to amend the list. But I started to realize that the sense of accomplishment and building something and being successful was not bringing me happiness. And that at the heart of our country's founding, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, at the heart of our religions, which is basically self-actualization and belief and surrender to some kind of higher calling, that happiness and joy was what was the end game, how you could declare victory. So I became a student of happiness, and just through religious readings, just through business readings, and said that individuals and companies are joined at the hip on development, human development, deployment of capital, and that if you looked at what made for a self-actualized happy person, it was exactly the same thing that made for a successful company. And there were very, very few things that successful, happy people, and the theorem was, if you're successful, it doesn't necessarily mean you can be happy, but if you're happy, guarantee you'll be successful. And the traits that great companies and great individuals shared were very simple. The first was that you are a very active participant in multiple communities of interest. Just by you participating in this program, you're proving that out. The more communities of interest that you are involved in, the more you learn, the more your curiosity is being interested in. And the busier you are, the busier that the people who work with you and your associates. If you want something done, give it to the busiest person. And so being very, very active and mindful of what your community of interests are. 20 years ago, I sat down with Jack. I had to write an article about who was the best CEO that I ever worked with. And I nominated Jack because he had to work with teachers and unions and the mayor and students and parents and union leaders and athletic directors. And he consciously managed the Vatican. He honestly, consciously managed each of those communities of interest in a very, very conscious way. And you look at the progress that Georgetown has made, and when you meet Jack, he's one of the most gracious, dignified, fun people to be around. So active participant in multiple communities of interest. Look at the great companies, Twitter, Facebook, eBay, go on and on, America Online back in the day. The second is that you have high levels of self-expression. I write books, I made movies, I've won Emmy Awards, been nominated for Academy Awards. I've been married 35 years. The only time I ever get into a fight with my wife when she'll say, "You're not listening to me." We want to self-express. It's why social media is really taken off. It's why people blog. And so allowing your customers, your employees, and having ways to listen to them and letting them self-express, you go way up the curve. The Washington Capitals have sold out like 600 games in a row now. We have a very high level of self-expression with our best players. We activate self-expression from our customers and fans, and it's really, really worked. The third is that you have high levels of personal empathy. Empathy is the human emotion, the corporate emotion that's, I think, least understood. Being able to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, to be able to listen and go, "Oh, I hadn't seen it that way." The most empathetic people get on the mall, you get memorials in your name. The last big memorial was for Martin Luther King. And he was truly empathetic. He gave himself to his community. He had great levels of high self-expression. I have a dream speech right on the steps of the Lincoln Monument, but he predicted that he would be assassinated and that that was a small price to pay to move the ball forward for his community, because he listened so closely to his community, felt their pain, and thought that that level of sacrifice was a small price to pay to help a large common good. And I love the thematic that we're doing on starting companies for the public good and you being in service to those communities. The next thing was getting out of the I and into the we. I have found people that are all about I. It was noted that my basketball team is in first place in the East. All of the experts said, "You've lost your star players," the guys who go I. And we have a real team. We're totally into the we. They're selfless. They play hard. They want to do well for the coach. They want to do well for the fans. They want to do well for each other. They want to do well for the organization. They're all about we. And the better the team does, the more they'll get paid. It's the right strategy. And I think we're going to see in the sports leagues that teams are going to win in the day of one superstar or two superstars or three superstars and then 9 other people that get paid the minimum, that won't be on trend. Next is putting yourself and your organization for a higher calling. My higher calling is I'd rather be loved than needed. And I am intending to leave more than I take. And so the last 20 years, I'm engineering my life and my career and around that I don't want to be feared. I don't want to be respected. I want to be liked and loved. And I am not going to judge myself purely by the scoreboard that we've been taught. It's more about even Sweetgreen. I was talking to Jonathan the other day. He wants the country and the world to be healthier. He wants the country and the world to lose weight and be conscious of your body. He's taken a company public, Sweetgreen, which is connected with the zeitgeist of a generation. They're going to make tons of money for everybody. Their employees get paid higher than their competitors. They charge more because people believe in what they're doing and the food's pretty good. And so being on a higher calling is good business. It's also the right thing for you personally. And so I would say being an entrepreneur, starting a company, investing in companies is the higher calling, I think, for our country. We just did the Bark Tank last week, in Washington, D.C., coming out of the pandemic, and government officials were our heroes. We look to government to tell us what to do. When could we open our business? Did people have to wear masks? Tell us about vaccinations, print money, give us money. That is not a good long-term solution. Large, central-bodied government decision-making has proven to be a failure. America was the greatest country ever because we were a startup nation. We were an entrepreneurial company. And I think that we will start to move back that way. And that if we don't get new companies launched, there won't be job creation, there won't be tax generated, and we're going to get ourselves into a mess. I do think I'm starting to see some blinking green lights that government is understanding that, lifting some of the mandates that are out there, and really starting to focus on tourism in Washington, D.C. and New York, and construction and reopening restaurants and having economic development zones. It's the only way we'll continue to be a strong country, a strong economy, is if we unleash the power and the great thinking and great work of everybody, not just relying on a couple of elected officials to make the decisions for us. So I really appreciate you letting me come in, beam in, and speak to you. And if you'd like, we have a couple of minutes of questions, and then I'll turn it back over to Jeff, and you'll continue your day.
Oh,
Jeff?
Ted, thank you so much. We're gonna shift gears now. We want to make sure our companies get a chance to be highlighted. So I do want to thank you for those words of wisdom and inspiration, and thank you for all your support
Great.
to make these programs possible.
Thank you, everyone.
Go Wizards, go Caps.
Thanks.
Go Sweet Green. All right. Now I'm going to turn over to Howard Eisenberg, one of the co-directors of the Georgetown Startup Accelerator, who will help tee us up for the next part of the program.
All right, thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Ted. I will give you now a quick overview of the Georgetown Startup Accelerator so that we know the basis of what we're going to hear today. The GSA is a 9-week program exclusively for Georgetown University alumni. It is and will remain a virtual program. This gives us the opportunity to reach more outstanding Hoyapreneurs. Approximately 2/3 of the cohort today is not located in or near DC. So as an example, we reach from California to London in this cohort. 21 founders, 13 early stage companies participated in this second cohort of the GSA, which culminates today. An exciting group, and I can't wait to introduce you to them all. The program is set up to accelerate to these early stage companies and help them grow their goals and reach their goals faster. Listed here are the 4 main elements that we focus on: cohort, mentors, workshop, and community. Next slide, David. The mentors are a big part of what we do. And we want to thank the mentors for taking the time to work with the cohort members. Each of these mentors spent at least an hour a week over the last 9 weeks walking through the program with the startup companies. They've lent their time, their experience, and their connections to the cohort members, and they could not have done it without you. We owe all those people an incredible gratitude for their help during the program. We also want to thank the partners of the GSA. These companies have volunteered their time in the form of workshops and discounted rates and free consultation, just to name a few things. The cohort took really good advantage of the partners and what they had to offer. So we want to have a big thank you for the GSA partners. So now, the real reason you're here is to meet the founders. Very excited to introduce the next step of the program. I'm going to hand off the spotlight to Tori Pratt. She is a GSA alumni herself, as Jeff mentioned before. Tori will introduce each of the founders so that they can share a brief glimpse into what their company's been doing. We will run through the 13 presentations, and then after the presentations are complete, you'll have the opportunity to personally meet the founders in breakout rooms. So take it away, Tori.
All right, thanks so much, Howard. Hi, everybody. I'm Tori, founder of Pratt Standard Cocktail Company. And today, I'm going to be introducing everybody. But before we get there, I just want to say thank you to the Georgetown Startup Accelerator for asking me to do this. I was part of the inaugural cohort earlier this year, and it was an amazing experience. I also think the value of it continues to show now in the after times. So if any of you out there listening can think of ways that you can engage with these companies, don't hesitate to do it, because I think they're probably all eager to learn from you, hear from you. And so please, drop where you're coming from in the chat, anything that you want to communicate with. We're going to be dropping their contact information in as we go. So please reach out to them, but also stay for the breakout rooms if you're willing to chat with them afterwards. And so without further ado, let's get into it. I'm sure you're mostly excited to see all these pitches today, so I'm not going to say anything more. To start us off, I'd like to introduce Ayo Amu, founder and CEO of Ammo. Ayo is a 2020 graduate of the School of Continuing Studies and has based the business here in Washington, D.C. Let's kick demo day off with Amu.
My name is Ayo Amo, and I am the founder of Ammo. So here's the problem. Most sports drinks are extremely high in sugar, use artificial ingredients, and have little to no nutritional value. And what's worse than that is that 90% of sports drinks are actually consumed when athletes are not even exercising. Over time, these sports drinks have led to weight gain, health concerns, and poor athletic performance. And this really hit home a few years ago when my younger sister started experiencing similar issues. So as a result, we created Ammo Sports Drink, a zero sugar, all natural cacao-based sports drink. The overall mission of Ammo is to support on and off the field performance. Ammo can be consumed before, during, and after workouts. So now, why do we use cacao, right? Cacao is one of the world's best superfoods. It contains 40 times more antioxidants than berries. The properties found in cacao have also been known to potentially increase energy levels and endurance, improve mental focus, and decrease cardiovascular risk as well. Most people know of cacao-based beverages in the form of milk, powder, and protein shakes, but we've actually succeeded in creating a unique category by combining the liquid from cacao with the properties of a sports drink. And this right here is what really makes Ammo the only product of its kind. Here you can see how fluid it is in texture. And you may be asking yourself, does this product actually taste like chocolate? But the answer is no. While there's a small hint of cocoa, most people won't even know that cacao is actually an ingredient. Ammo comes in 3 natural flavors. It has 92% fewer calories, 100% less sugar, and 200% more electrolytes than traditional sports drinks. Now, here's a deeper look into our nutrition facts and how we measure up against others. Ammo only has 10 calories compared to 120. Ammo also doesn't contain any sugar, while other sports drinks average about 28 grams per bottle. In terms of taste, every single consumer called it refreshing, and 90% couldn't compare it to another beverage. Right now, the functional beverage market is at 130 billion, and sports drinks are at 22 billion. Both industries are growing at considerably high growth rates as well. We anticipate our consumers to be Gen Z athletes because Gen Zs have become the leaders of the low sugar, natural, and organic movement. Our goal is also to launch locally in year 1 and then expand regionally and then eventually nationally. Our cost of goods is $1.65. We're selling for $2.99, which gives us gross margins of 45%. We plan to launch Ammo in stores, online, and through partnerships. In terms of traction, we've already secured a few local athletic partnerships. And right now we're in discussions with several local accounts, including Whole Foods and LA Fitness. We're raising a pre-seed round of $150,000 to assist with our first production run. We're also launching a crowdsourcing campaign in the next few months to help us with some fundraising. We would love for your support by engaging with us on social media, providing product feedback, and making any introductions to help our growth. Ammo is not just a sports drink company, it is a lifestyle. We hope our consumers can drink Ammo and feel fully prepared to perform at maximum capacity. Thank you so much for your time, and would love for you to join our breakout room to answer any questions.
Thank you so much. That was super interesting. Also, I run a CPG company, so I love seeing other CPG companies out there trying to do omni-channel. I think it's super important right now to go omni-channel with your business. It's almost like required. So that is super, super interesting. Next up, we have Chili Maven. Alexa Fernandez is the founder and CEO of Chili Maven. Alexa is a 2005 graduate of both the McDonough School of Business and the McCourt School of Public Policy. Alexa joins us all the way from London. Take it away, Chili Maven.
Hi, I'm Alexa Fernandez, founder of Chili Maven. I arrived to London 16 years ago after I graduated from Georgetown. And if you've ever been to England and eaten at a pub, then you already know that the food here is very bland. I grew up in Texas, my family is from Mexico, and yes, I miss the sun, but I really, really miss the flavor. I miss the sabor of the food back home. Living abroad without chilies, without spice, it's been really hard on me. So this past year, I finally decided to do something about it. I decided to pursue my passion for flavor and spice and share it with the world. The Chili Maven story lies in our name. We are the connoisseurs of flavor and fire. We're all about chilies, and chilies are sophisticated. They're not just about the heat, they're full of flavor and depth. And our products really reflect that. Our ultimate goal is to bring Chili Maven to every single kitchen table across the globe. Around the world, sales of condiments, in particular table sauces and hot sauces, are soaring. Furthermore, the pandemic unlocked a real desire in consumers to experience the flavors of the world at home. The UK is no exception. People here want really bold flavors, and they also want authentic Mexican food, and not something that has been anglicized. Chili Maven will officially launch in the UK at the end of this month with our first product, salsa matcha, which is so delicious that the New York Times called it the condiment of the year. Salsa matcha can be used at every meal, at every occasion. It's really a great versatile way to make bland food more exciting. We spent months developing the recipe, testing and sampling it until we achieved the ultimate blend of smokiness and spice. It's really good and very addictive. I live in Southwest London, in an area that's pretty cool and one where a lot of our target audience live. These young professionals, couples, and families spend their Saturday mornings shopping at the fishmonger, the butcher, and the farmer's market. They are time poor, food rich, but they're really looking for a shortcut to flavor. The good news is that we have already secured listings with a lot of these retailers, along with independent foodie stores across London and specialist distributors online. A key milestone for us has been securing a manufacturer. We already have a strong base of loyal customers, and getting that manufacturer will really allow us to meet the existing demand, but also future one. The manufacturer is in Mexico and has been producing salsa matcha for over 20 years. We're also the only maker of salsa matcha in the UK that is ready to scale commercially. I am the sole founder of Chili Maven, but I also realize that I cannot do this alone. And that is why I have brought together a world-class team of experts to help me execute my plan. They're experts in strategy, production, commercials, and most recently, I have people working with me on design, marketing, and social media. So how can you, the Georgetown community, help me? Follow the Chili Maven journey. I'll be posting updates and major announcements via WhatsApp and Instagram. For example, In the next few weeks, we'll be launching our new brand, which, by the way, you got a sneak peek of. Please share this with your friends and followers. We'll also be launching limited edition sales in the US, where you'll be able to purchase our product. And if you do, we would really appreciate your feedback. Thank you all for your time, and I'm really looking forward to chatting with you and answering your questions in the Chili Maven breakout room.
Thank you so much. I absolutely love your branding. I think the branding is just, so on point. The first time I saw this product, I thought of the chili crisp from Momofuku that's kind of like taken the world by storm. And it makes me think of like a Mexican version of chili crisp. And I'm disappointed that I can't get it yet. So as soon as it's available in the US, please let me know. I want to buy some. All right, guys, next up is Civic, led by Thomas Connolly and Matthias Bergman. Thomas and Matthias are both 2021 graduates of the School of Foreign Service and the college, respectively. Thomas and Matthias are tuning in from New York City. Let's see what you got.
In 2020, the Amazon was burning. As someone who cares about the effect of climate change, I wanted to do something about it, yet I had absolutely no idea how. Odds are you probably know tons of people who have experienced that exact same problem. They want to contribute to a cause. They want to take action, and yet they have no idea how or where to get started. Well, in 2020, the Amazon was burning. As someone who cares about the effect of climate change, I wanted to do something about it, yet I had absolutely no idea how. Odds are you probably know tons of people who have experienced that exact same problem. They want to contribute to a cause. They want to take action, and yet they have no idea how or where to get started. Welcome everyone, my name is Matthias. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Civic. Together with Thomas, we connect people who want to take action on a cause to activism, politics, and volunteering in their area so that they can be more engaged, active, and socially responsible.
Civic is a locally focused, one-stop shop for getting involved and taking action on a cause. On Civic, you'll discover the activists and organizations working around you who need your support. That could mean attending a demonstration, volunteering, donating, or something else. How you make a difference is entirely up to you. In today's world, more people are looking to get involved than ever before. In 2018 alone, over 50 million Americans looked up information on a protest or rally near them, and over 77 million volunteered through a community organization. We're constantly learning about the issues that need our help, but the means to actually take action is still spread through disconnected social media pages, newsletters, and word of mouth. Civic is going to unify all of that and make it easy for anyone to take action on the issues that matter to them. Civic's business model is based on a unique approach that empowers organizations to monetize their following on the platform. On Civic, organizations can fundraise directly from their followers with easy donation functionality, as well as sell their merchandise directly to Civic's users. This incentivizes organizations to bring their following onto the platform while creating opportunities for transaction fees. Every year, American individuals donate almost $310 billion to nonprofit groups, much of which goes through outdated platforms that charge high fees. Giving our users the means to discover, support, and contribute to organizations makes transaction fees a natural revenue model and a billion-dollar opportunity. In the long run, we also plan on implementing additional revenue streams like advertisements and paid organizer features to maximize our revenue potential.
So far, we've only released a small slice of Civic and exclusively in the New York City area, yet we've already seen tremendous success. We've onboarded 12 of the largest activist groups in the country. We have almost 1,000 users, and we've sustained 5% week-over-week growth for over 4 months. This shows just how much demand there is for something like Civic. Someone's going to build it. It's only a matter of time. We want to be the ones to do so. Thomas and I are also the perfect team for the job. We can leverage years of experience in the political and activist fields while also being young enough to understand the preferences and tendencies of Gen Z. We have an incredible advisory board, including Mark Morial, who is the president and CEO of one of the largest civil rights groups in the country. Thomas and I have organized around many causes. We've tried to get involved with many more, and we know how it can often be a tremendously frustrating experience. We have the right solution, and we cannot wait to implement it. So what are we asking of you? We're opening a pre-seed round where we're seeking to raise $150,000 to fund the engineering and marketing resources that we need to make Civic take off. With those resources, we'll be able to add fuel to the fire and sustain a high growth rate for another year, at which point we'll have more than enough to raise a seed round. Come help us build the next generation's platform for impact. Help us build Civic.
All right, thank you so much. I love seeing all of the social businesses that are coming out of Georgetown. I think that it's such a beautiful thing when you can take a technology solution and you can apply it to something where they really need it for some sort of social change. So I think that's absolutely amazing. All right, next up, we have Enna Health. Enna Health is led by brothers Nirmal and Nikhil Mitra, along with Abdul Karim. Nirmal is a 2017 graduate of the School of Nursing and Health Studies and is currently pursuing his medical degree at Georgetown. Take it away, Enna Health.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Abdullah, the founder of Enna Health, and I'm a Hodgkin's lymphoma survivor. Enna Health was born out of my own experience as a cancer patient when I had to juggle almost a dozen different symptoms, each one feeling like it came at random. It wasn't until I started to track these symptoms on a spreadsheet that I was able to really understand when they came and why they happened. As a volunteer at my cancer center, I found that my challenges balancing chemo symptoms were not unique. In fact, most cancer patients face the same battle. Studies show that 53% of ER visits are preventable with active symptom management, and that oncologists miss up to half of patient symptoms. Our goal is to change this by giving oncologists the ability to closely monitor a patient's health, even when they're at home. This lets clinicians and patients work together to proactively intervene and create a symptom management plan that's unique to each patient. So Enna Health is made up of two software tools, a mobile app for patients to track their data, and an electronic health record backend that shares that data with their care team. Enna's mobile app lets the patient or the caregiver track everything you're seeing in front of you in under 60 seconds a day, including pain levels, appetite, and activity. Clinicians we've spoken to have shared how factors like movement, mental health, and sleep can drastically impact outcomes. And lastly, we've centered Enna Health around clinical standardized scales to provide both the patient and their care team with a clear picture of the patient's well-being. On the back end, we take all of that information, we aggregate it, and we share it with the oncologists in a summarized, easy to follow PDF or a tab in their EHR, giving the team the ability to rapidly intervene to manage symptoms before they happen again. The reports and information we share with care teams are so rich with data that an oncology fellow at Mayo Clinic even commented, "I get more out of reading your report for 5 minutes than an hour-long patient interview." I'll hand it over to my co-founder, Nirmal, to talk through why now and our monetization strategy.
So timing is everything. For the first time, due to a landmark Medicare legislation change that's going into effect in January of 2022, remote monitoring tools such as Enna Health will be reimbursable through Medicare. So what does this look like from a revenue model? Clinical practices would charge Medicare directly, and Enna Health would receive a percentage of this Medicare reimbursement on a per patient per month basis. Our founding team is made up of individuals who can bring together the patient, clinician, and tech perspective to solve this problem. Abdullah is a cancer survivor and an active volunteer in cancer centers. He's also a council member of MSK's Patient Advisory Council and has a background in tech investment banking and oncology tech. I'm a second-year medical student at Georgetown University School of Medicine and founder of Heroes for Hearts, an international first aid and CPR nonprofit. Nikhil leads the go-to-market strategy and analytics for Flatiron Health, an oncology tech company, and he has a background in private equity and growth equity. And our advisor, Denise, has a background in leading product management and design. From Demo Day, we have 2 asks. 1, we are looking for partners who can help us find oncology practices to pilot with. Or 2, partners who can help us build an engineering team for development. It is our goal to carry out a round of pre-seed fundraising in the near term. For a more detailed breakdown, feel free to message us directly and come visit us at our breakout session. Thank you all.
Wow, Enna Health. I mean, I always tell my staff that, if somebody doesn't get their cocktail syrup on time, no one's going to die. But you guys actually have the opposite, which is that you have the possibility to actually save lives with your work. I think that's absolutely amazing. So congratulations and best of luck. All right, next we have Favordrop. Buffalo grown Favordrop is co-founded by a pair of former Georgetown rowing teammates, Jack Sardinia and Connor McCarrick. Both Jack and Connor are 2017 grads of the School of Nursing and Health Studies. Take it away, Favordrop.
I want you to think of your favorite local bar or restaurant. Their hot dishes and cold drinks. You're always telling your friends to go. Okay, so you want to support their business and want your friends to try it. So why don't you send them there with a gift card? Probably because they look something like this, right? And you have to go in the store, annoy the server. It's a mess. All right, get your laptop, go to their website, find the hidden gift card link, get your friend's email, and pray it gets sent. Even despite the lagging tech, there's $170 billion in gift cards purchased annually in the US, an estimated $50 billion for bars and restaurants. This is a terrible consumer experience, but people clearly have a need for it. For all these reasons and more, we started Favordrop, a mobile-based app that allows you to send your friends, family, and clients gift cards right from your phone. Your contacts are imported so you can send people to your favorite local spots in 10 seconds. From your phone to a QR code in their text messages. In Favor now, there is $15 billion of unredeemed gift cards in the US. So here's our secret sauce. You pick an expiration for the Favordrop, 1 hour to 1 year. If the recipient doesn't use it in time, the money comes back to you. So you can resend it or send it to someone who will use it. We want to say goodbye to the days of unused or even partially used gift cards.
We conducted a beta test from July to October 2021. We have 12 restaurant partners, $20,000 transaction through the platform, $5,000 in redemptions, and a customer spend of approximately $15,000. Yes, customers Favordrop brings to restaurants spend on average 300% above the amount they redeem. While building this, we also realized we have a powerful and non-invasive way for restaurants to send SMS promos to their customer base. Our restaurant partners are getting 50 to 100 signups a week and can use Favordrop to target promotions on low volume days. We also have been approached by a variety of salespeople, from car dealerships, realtors, and insurance agents. They already buy thousands of gift cards every month for client gifting. Once they start using us, they increase touch points, save time mailing gifts, and because the unused credit goes back, they vastly increase their expense budgets. Our business model consists of a monthly subscription fee for restaurant partners, 15% commission on customer-to-customer transactions, and a per transaction fee for our sales partners. I'm Jack Sardinia, and I co-founded Favordrop along with Connor McCarrick. At Georgetown, Connor and I were 4-year roommates and 4-year teammates on the lightweight crew team. After Georgetown, I went on to receive my master's degree from Columbia University, and then went on to lead data-driven research studies while living in Ghana, South Africa, and here in the US. With Favordrop, I lead operations, co-lead sales, and manage our data and analytics. Prior to Favordrop, Connor underwrote cybersecurity in New York City. With Favordrop, he leads our product management, restaurant onboarding, and co-lead sales. Our advisors include my father, Tim Sardinia, an owner of multiple restaurants and founding partner of Millennium Funding. Devin Baptiste is the founder and CEO of GroupRaise, a restaurant tech platform that's been operational for over a decade and has 10,000 plus restaurant partners across the US. And lastly, Greg Mojica. Greg is a technical advisor, Y Combinator class of winter 2020, and a founder and CTO of Alloy Automation. We just began our pre-seed round of up to $500,000 to expand our team, optimize our app functionality, and expand to as many merchants as possible in both the Western New York area and beyond. We just opened this round last week and already have $100,000 verbally committed. Last week, we met with a local restaurant owner to discuss Favordrop. And when we left, we got this voicemail the next day.
Hey, Timmy, Danny from Brothers. Give me a call if you can after 2 o'clock. I'm kind of interested in this. I haven't stopped thinking about it, actually. So, all right. Thanks, bud.
Now he wants to invest too. We thank you very much for your time, and we're looking forward to discussing Favordrop with you in the breakout room.
Wow, what an amazing pitch. Also, it's so interesting to see creative marketing solutions coming out in the post iOS 14 world. I think it's going to be super important moving forward that there are creative ways for restaurants and bars to retarget consumers because advertising doesn't have the same effect that it used to. And I'm sure a lot of them relied on Facebook before. So that's a super interesting concept. All right, next up, we have IntimacyMoons, partners in business and in life. IntimacyMoons is led by Michael and Marissa Nelson. Michael graduated from the college in 2004 and also has a master's in arts and government from 2005. IntimacyMoons is based locally right here in Washington, D.C. All right, take it away.
Hi, my name is Marissa Nelson, licensed marriage and family therapist, ASEX certified sex therapist and sexuality educator, and founder of IntimacyMoons Couples Retreats. My heart for this work was really started when I was in private practice in 2013. I had a lot of couples who I was seeing really focusing and working through sexuality and through communication issues. They were going on vacation to work through some of this stuff. They were trying to figure out whether they were supposed to get divorced, whether they were going to break up, or whether they really had what it took to save their relationship. And they were going on vacation. And more I realized that there was this growing trend of people traveling and leaving the hustle, bustle, and even the chaos of their everyday life with their kids to just go away and spend some time together and try to see if their love really is still there and if there's still hope for their relationship. That's the reason why I founded IntimacyMoons Couples Retreats, a place where couples can go to really work on just not only their love, but how do they make their relationship not a chore or a job to be done? And also for a lot of couples who would never come and see a therapist like me, nobody ever had a problem going on vacation. What if we blended the best of luxury and an experience that they will never forget, along with all the tools and skills that they need to revive and jolt their relationship back to life? One of the solutions and biggest reasons why we've been voted one of the top couples retreats worldwide is because of our educational model and our approach. The IntimacyMoons difference is that we give what we call wraparound whole couple support. Support pre-retreat. So before anybody even comes on the retreat, we work with them, talk about their pain points, and really start the process so that we can hit the ground running when we're together during the retreat. Then we have the overall retreat experience where they get individualized, personalized attention in order to address the problems and the issues that matter to them most. And then what we call wraparound care, which is at the tail end of the retreat and after their retreat. Well, their problems don't just go away when they leave us. We want to be able to give couples support before, during, and after their experience. The opportunity is really ripe right now, and the market is hot right now. Given everything that we've been through with the pandemic and how couples have really been cooped up into their house, and they are essentially tired of each other and looking for ways to really reconnect. and also the pent-up tourism demand of really just being grounded for the last almost 2 years. This is the opportunity for growth. The non-spa wellness tourism market is around $18 billion and growing annually by 7%. The opportunity for expansion and for growth, especially with mental health trends, that people are really investing in their own self-care, their own wellness, and in self-discovery. Our ask right now is for connection, for partnership opportunities, or any contacts to resorts, because our goal and our mission is to make couples retreats just as commonplace as a massage at a hotel. This is one of the reasons why this is the right opportunity at the right time, so that we can reach more couples and help as many people feel connected, feel alive, and get a way to come together. Thank you so, so much.
Well, now I'm looking to go on vacation. That was amazing. I also think it's super interesting how you you focus on the holistic for couples, because I think that's super important. You know, that's probably what really makes it fully different from, you know, just going away to a retreat somewhere. It's like the level of support, and then supporting it from all angles, which I think is absolutely amazing. So next up, we have KnoNap. But before that, we are about halfway through our pitches right now. If everybody wouldn't mind just, you know, using the chat as much as possible to connect with people. Stay on for our breakout rooms later, but if you want to connect with somebody or you have an idea, don't hesitate to use that feature. You can message people directly through there also, so don't hesitate to do that. Alrighty, so KnoNap. Danya Sherman is the founder and CEO of KnoNap. She's a 2021 graduate of the McDonough School of Business and runs the company also out of Washington, D.C. Take it away.
Studying abroad, I was drugged by a newfound friend, and it was only when I returned to the States that I found I was not alone. It's estimated that 1 out of every 13 college-aged individuals suspect having had a drink laced with a drug. At the realization of the pervasiveness of this issue, I sought empowerment tools to empower myself in social settings. But what I found is that there was nothing discreet and inclusive on the market, and that is why I created KnoNap. KnoNap is a discreet, portable, gender-inclusive empowerment tool against rape drugs. KnoNap is the napkin that knows. However, due to COVID-19, changing drinking habits forced us to take the intellectual property from our napkins and integrate them into a product that is more consumer-focused to meet the consumers on their changing drinking habits. And that's why we created Nope. Nope, similarly to KnoNap, is a discreet, portable, gender-inclusive empowerment tool against drink spiking. However, this time, Nope is disguised as gum. To use Nope, simply place a few drops of your drink in the designated area. In drug presence, there is a color change, discreetly indicating to the user that their drink is not safe for consumption. My name is Danya Sherman, and I am the founder and CEO of KnoNap, and I am so excited to share with you my team today. My technical team has over 15 years experience developing diagnostics, and my strategy team has members that have manufacturing experience as well as sensitivity training. We have been honored to have received regional, national, and international press, as well as to be honored with Forbes 30 Under 30, and this past year to have won Bark Tank's Leonsis Prize. We have individuals from over 25 countries represented on our waitlist, further proving that the issue of drug-facilitated sexual assault and crime is an international issue. KnoNap is a category-expanding product within the over $127 billion industry of personal protective equipment. We're targeting the more niche market of college and dating-aged individuals, as well as institutions on and around college campuses. So what is next? We are launching our pre-sales for our product Nope, as well as securing our intellectual property and exploring additional markets to expand within. KnoNap's mission is to empower educate, and advocate against drug-facilitated sexual assault and crime. And we do this through partnerships with universities, Title IX offices, and police departments, promoting education for individuals statistically most at risk of being affected by drink spiking. Join us as we work together to combat drink spiking, one empowerment tool at a time. Sign up on our newsletter or as well on our Indiegogo pre-launch campaign to learn more about our upcoming launch. And as well, if you have introductions to journalists who write on the issue of combating sexual violence and drink spiking, or if you have introductions with universities and specifically student affairs, or social organizations such as Greek Life, please feel free to find me in my room later today, and I look forward to continuing this conversation on working together to combat drink spiking. So thank you so much for your time.
Wow, what an amazing product. I mean, that's something that could make young people across the world feel safe going out and being with each other. You know, that is such an empowering tool. So I am excited to see when it goes to market, and everybody, she dropped her Indiegogo, I think, in the chat there. So check it out. All right. So up next is Manicki. Soumya Paluru is the founder of Manicki and is a 2020 graduate of the School of Continuing Studies. She recently moved her business from Charlotte, North Carolina, right back here to Washington, D.C. So it's time to see how Manicki is making an impact.
Hi, my name is Soumya and I am the founder of Manicki. Our story starts in 2018 when I decided to pack up all of my things and move across the country to Boston. As I began to unpack, I suddenly realized I had forgotten all of my underwear in North Carolina. As this hit me, I began to wonder why something I knew I needed to wear and knew I needed to go buy was triggering negative emotions. As I began researching, I was quick to find I wasn't alone. The industry leaders had crafted a very specific narrative around underwear and sexuality. The shopping experience was horrible, leaving women to dig out of disorganized discount bins and sift through intimidating lingerie assortments. The lingerie of the industry had taken over the notion of comfortable, empowering underwear. It was very clear that an industry accurately named basics had lost sight of its purpose, making a woman feel clean and dignified so they can take on the world. This made me think, if the data is showing that the experience of acquiring underwear is this bad for a middle-class millennial like myself, how is this affecting women in under-resourced areas and in shelters? This led me to Rosie's Place, a women's shelter that by fate was a block away from where I had moved. I learned here that underwear is one of the most requested, least donated products. I found the same issues span shelters across the country. Women through socioeconomic groups were having a difficult time accessing comfortable, basic underwear. And that's when Manicki was born. We focused on building a brand that aligned with our empowered millennial female customer, that included inclusive, empowering, and impact-driven branding. Our underwear was developed using new age fabrics that prioritize breathability and seamless comfort. We make it easier to access underwear by curating a tight, data-driven selection and delivering it right to homes. And finally, we promise to donate a pair of underwear for every pair purchased. April of 2021, we launched the beta version of our website to family and friends with merch and underwear pre-orders in 1 color and 3 styles. Right now, we're debt-free and we've spent $0 on marketing. Traction-wise, we've done $24,000 in sales across our initial underwear offering and merch in 7 months, and we're on track to donate over 1,000 pairs of underwear this year. In 2022, we plan on increasing our selection, advertising efforts, and testing a quarterly subscription model. In 2023, our plan is to expand that assortment further into comfort wear, targeting the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th most requested items in shelters: bras, socks, and t-shirts. My mission is to create the female-focused version of Bombas for women and become the top-of-mind brand for comfort wear for women while making an impact. I've put together a phenomenal board that spans 30 years of combined experience and complements my skill set in global supply chain and brand strategy. Their expertise is across product development, e-commerce strategy, and data-driven sourcing. I plan on using a portion of the raise to build out the assortment and the e-commerce capabilities, allowing for a quarterly subscription model test. The remainder of the capital is to drive awareness through paid media partnerships. I believe we can build a powerful community of women through Manicki, emphasizing that underwear is the first thing she puts on and the last thing she has to think about, so she can focus on uplifting herself and contributing to her world with confidence and bringing other women along the way. If you want to learn more about Manicki, join me in our breakout room to discuss further. Thank you.
Wow, awesome pitch, Manicki. I'm so surprised. I never thought that no one donates underwear. It makes a lot of sense, but no one donates underwear. So a one-for-one model makes perfect sense here. That is super, super cool. Thank you so much for your pitch. All right, next we have Postbys. So Postbys is led by Eric Victorin and Anvar Brooks, who both are 2018 graduates of the college. Continuing the streak of DC-based companies, Postbys is headquartered in Washington, DC. Here we go.
Each year, trade shows account for over $500 billion in products sold globally, while still operating in a highly inefficient and traditional format. While profitable for participants in the past, significant increase in competition and the global pandemic caused a major permanent shift in the industry. Now, the problem with this traditional trade show format is that buyers will often spend more time looking for specific products and sellers waiting for buyers to come to them than the time spent to actually do business and transact with each other. And that logistical challenge, that obstacle to the more efficient trade show model, is what Postbys solves for the industry. I've been buying and selling at trade shows for the past 10 years, and I've seen firsthand the enormous waste of both time and energy involved in doing business in these large-scale events. The question we asked ourselves was this: how can we help individuals and companies, regardless of their size, to quickly identify buying and selling opportunities while transacting with ease? It was this that inspired the creation of the Postbys online platform, to help existing trade shows and provide a better experience for all participants. Using Postbys, buyers can now quickly find the products they're looking for, and sellers can find more buyers to connect with. Simply post your request onto our reverse marketplace platform and allow business to come your way. It's now as easy as that. Postbys provides all the tools, beginning from the first connection and all the way up to processing payment. It's exactly this consolidation that is the reason why we can guarantee that it is always better to attend trade shows with Postbys than without it. We simplify the process of transacting while helping users find better products and close more sales. Spend less time wandering around exhibit halls or waiting for buyers to find you, and use that time to better serve your customers and grow your business with Postbys. With that, let us continue diving deeper into our company. Our platform focuses on the three most important functions that trade show participants cannot live without: discovery, connection, and transactions, with all three combined in the Postbys platform to help our users focus on matchmaking and finding products they're looking to buy. Let's also look how vast the trade show and exhibition industry is in the United States. There are over 13,000 commerce-based trade shows organized every year that attract over 90 million estimated yearly visitors, who in turn conduct $220 billion in business sales. Note that this industry is rooted in every sector of the American economy, making it tremendously valuable with high upside. We have also analyzed our total and serviceable addressable markets and our predicted share by looking at the billions of dollars worth of transactions that occur in the industry yearly. The current industry trends also provide a strong justification to the need of our platform. 58% of trade show organizers have added or are planning to add digital products to help bring trade show participants together, with over 90% of their attendees agreeing that matchmaking with new contacts and searching for new products are the most important outcomes of such solutions. We stand out from all the current competition because we are the only hyper-focused mobile solution that is created to fully service the main functions for all trade show participants in a free and easy-to-use way. We provide the fastest and most convenient way for trade show participants to match, connect, and transact. Our team consists of various industry professionals that offer skills and expertise to come together and help modernize the trade show industry, with our different backgrounds ranging from finance, business, and technology development. Currently, Postbys is live and available on iOS and Android. We are always looking to connect with more trade show and exhibition organizers at their events. So let's connect.
I can't tell you the number of trade shows I've been to where I've spent so much money to be there and it was inefficient. I would only see the people I wanted to see. And even now, I mean, I went to Expo East earlier this year, and Expo East, it's for the natural food space. And Expo East was even more limited to exactly who you wanted to see because of COVID. So there's, some fear of going up to people and things like that. And I think that this could really, really help kind of democratize that for everyone. I think that's a fantastic idea. All right, next up we have Share Scoops. Please welcome Augustus Christensen, the founder of Share Scoops. Augustus is a 2014 graduate of the college, growing Share Scoops in New York City. Share the scoop with us, Augustus.
Hi, I'm Augustus, and I just left my career at JP Morgan to build Share Scoops and make the financial world more accessible. Because our generation is demanding more from our financial system, but doesn't have a way to understand, follow, or react to what's happening. And that lack of exposure and engagement has translated into low financial literacy and low investing rates. And even the people who are investing don't have the right resources. But Share Scoops is the mobile platform informing, educating, training, empowering a new wave of investors. That next generation Bloomberg integrating gamified financial education into interactive news that engages people on more holistic issues that they care about, how corporations are affecting their employees, their communities, the planet, and converting first-time investors more effectively than anywhere else. Now, we started testing our unique interactive news and education on social media and blew up to 24,000 followers in under a year. Then we transitioned to an MVP that's a web app delivered in a newsletter and grew 8 times in 5 months, cracking 50-60% open rates, and with hundreds of users volunteering for one-on-one verbal feedback sessions with me. Because what we're doing goes beyond content. We deliver daily economic bites and 5 company scoops on things like worker strikes at Amazon. Then users get to vote. Do you like this company? Do you not? Do you think it's doing a good job? And across these social, economic, environmental factors, getting people over those mental barriers that this stuff isn't for me, and building a community holding corporations accountable as we aggregate these votes into ESG-like sentiment data that we can ultimately license and advise companies on. And now we're building a mobile app platform where users come to make better informed purchase, employment, and investment decisions, making us a direct portal for every major corporation into their most engaged audience, where corporations will be able to understand with measurable certainty that if they change this policy, invest over here, they'll be able to earn more customers, better employees, and more investors. And our app gamifies our successful learning process, delivering educational content rewards for reading, voting, sharing, and curating the financial services that our users need exactly when they're ready for them, and not before, delivering higher quality conversions and scaling our revenue as we scale our impact. Because inspiring action for this audience is so valuable that 2 investment platforms are willing to pay us up to $100 for every single referral. So that's our initial revenue strategy, offering a co-marketing channel for financial services that have extremely high customer acquisition costs. The same strategy leading companies like NerdWallet and Red Ventures to billions in revenue. And we have the team to do it. I'm a financial markets expert who proudly comes from a small town and a landscaping family. I've spent the last decade educating everyone from high schoolers in Harlem to billionaires in the boardroom. And my CTO has an exceptional career in fintech and ad tech with one company exit under his belt already. Now we're raising funding to pour gas on the community building strategies that we've already mastered and scale this platform to 1 million users within the next 18 months. By meeting our users where they are on social and on campus, targeting graduate students in law, business, medicine, and working professionals in tertiary cities with lower financial services penetration, strategically gaining traction as we build to become the world's most trusted resource. Because it's time for our generation to have a voice and a share in this economy. Thank you.
Wow, what a great mission. And also, it's so cool how much traction you already have. I can't wait to check in with you guys in like 18 months and see where you're at. All right, we are in our last 3 pitches here, so everybody stick around. This one is Skye. Next up, and we also have, they're also built in New York City by Tony Lin, Jessica Wolf, and Gabriel Chen. While the Skye co-founders may have met at Columbia Business School, Skye's chief product officer, Tony Lin, is a 2014 graduate of the college. Let's take a look at what you got.
Hi, we are Skye, a platform for executive and life coaching. 3 weeks ago, we posted on our personal Instagram and LinkedIn pages to announce Skye. Over 200 people booked 30-minute calls with us to talk about how coaching could change their lives. Last week alone, we held over 100 Zoom calls. During each call, we asked the person on the line, "What's your current greatest challenge?" Among many, here are a few key insights: scaling my business, managing a team, finding a meaningful career. In summary, 200 people found 30 minutes from their busy day to share their eagerness to invest in themselves and their futures. We are at the forefront of a wave of personal and professional development that far extends beyond 200 people on Instagram. People are looking for support and finally know where to find it. Welcome to Skye, the platform for coaching. We match leaders with executive and life coaches to accelerate their professional and personal goals. With the guidance of a vetted coach, leaders can better navigate their greatest challenges. And we've already generated demand. In the past 2 weeks, we've onboarded over 100 highly motivated leaders across tech, media, and consulting. And we match our clients to highly vetted coaches with robust professional backgrounds, certification in the coaching or moderation space, and relevant education. We match clients with coaches via a dating app like Algorithm that considers 4 key aspects: values, professional background, price, and aspirations. Coupled with machine learning, our personalized intake call allows us to build relationships with and learn from our early clients. So now it's evident that coaching is needed and wanted, but maybe you're wondering, what is coaching exactly? We define coaching as a partnership that outlines a solution-oriented strategy for success. Coaches assess your personal situation and build a roadmap towards your ultimate goals and hold you accountable along the way. We aren't the first to discover the impact of coaching. Apple, Google, and McKinsey pour millions of dollars into internal coaching programs. Athletes, celebrities, and business gurus alike attest to the power of coaching. There's a real benefit for retention, engagement, productivity, and well-being, and everyone should have a coach. The problem is, the coaching market is a highly fragmented, decentralized, and unregulated space. For clients, there is no one trusted place to find a vetted, personalized coach match. For coaches, there's no centralized platform to market themselves and manage their businesses. We are differentiated from our competition in that we are both a marketplace and service of record for coaches. The coaching market is sizable as $38 billion, and money is being poured into the space with billion-dollar valuations and hundreds of million dollars invested in the past year. And this brings us to the revenue model, which is simple. Coaching is a monthly subscription. Coaches determine their prices. Skye takes a 5% transaction fee. We expect to be able to increase transaction fees to build out our platform and generate stickiness. By just capturing a small percentage of the market with 350 coaches on board, we will see $2.1 million in ARR. We've already surpassed our goals for 2021. In just 10 short weeks, we've made significant progress. We've learned and pivoted our strategy, scaffolded up a new platform architecture, drew significant organic interest, onboarded 50 coaches and over 100 clients, and served hundreds of matches, and secured the first of many coaching subscriptions. In the next year, we plan to have at least 100 coaches on board and 1,500 clients. We also plan to build more robust communication tools, B2B software, group coaching capabilities, referral program, and a 360-degree evaluation tool. And this is the team that made it happen. We are a team that has direct experience leading, building, and innovating on major projects. From leading the Forbes Under 30 selection process, to building one of the first external data marketplaces, to re-architecting the warehouse operations of Jet. Our team is positioned to continue to scale our early success and push Skye forward into the future of coaching and professional development. With us, sky's the limit. We are currently raising our Precede Round.
All right. That was absolutely fantastic. I can't tell you the number of founders that I know personally who have just asked me, you know, do you have a coach? How did you find your coach? It all seems to be by word of mouth. And also people spend astronomical amounts of money on coaching. So having that kind of platform, I think, is just a perfect solution. It makes so much sense. All right, next up we have Sunroot Gifting. They're based out of Rochester, New York. Marin Cannon is the founder of Sunroot Gifting, and she graduated in 2018 from the School of Business. Let's check out Sunroot Gifting.
Hi there, I'm Marin, founder of Sunroot Gifting Company. Before I begin, I want to send a huge thank you to Georgetown, especially Howard, Callie, and my mentor, Laura. This has been a truly awesome experience. Now I'm excited to chat with you all about gifting. There are a lot of reasons why we give gifts, but at its core, giving is influenced by emotion and a desire to reinforce a positive self-concept. Gifting is so emotional that research shows we actually have a release of dopamine when we give someone else a gift. Despite this, modern gift companies focus on two things: the product and the transaction. They solve the problem of not having time to put together a great gift, but they ignore the humans on either side of this deeply emotional transaction. What if there was a company that solved this problem and then did more? A company that focuses on the humans and the joyful moment being celebrated with a gift. A company that acts on a deeper mission that sees and celebrates the humanity of the customer, adds positivity to their self-perception, and increases the happiness, dopamine, and connection associated with gifting. Sunroot Gifting Company is on a mission to build a community that celebrates human moments, and we are different because of that. We are an e-commerce platform that sells gift boxes, both direct to consumer and to other businesses. We live out our mission by rooting our product and customer experience in three values: community, connection, and celebration. From sourcing exclusively from independent makers and female-owned businesses to developing customer touchpoints that create a genuine feeling of human connection, to focusing on the fun and bringing some life back into the gifting industry and sharing stories of inspiring and celebratory moments. This approach resonates. We've had gift recipients totally unfamiliar with our brand share social content saying how much they love their gift, and our organic social efforts have met great enthusiasm. Our unpaid Instagram content has reached over 38,000 accounts in the past 90 days, and one of our TikTok videos received over 125,000 organic views. There is significant financial opportunity for Sunroot in this market. On the D2C side, the gift box niche is outpacing total industry growth, with the number of customers searching for a gift box online increasing 125% over the past 3 years. Current trends also support our positioning, with industry research showing premium and personal gifts are growing more popular, especially among the growing number of households making over 100K. We estimate Sunroot's serviceable obtainable market to be between 50 and 100 million in the D2C channel. On the B2B side, Forbes has estimated that the corporate gifting market will increase 21% or $64 billion in the next 3 years, with nearly 50% of companies reporting they actually plan to increase their gift giving post-COVID. We estimate Sunroot's serviceable obtainable market to be between $200 and $250 million in the B2B channel. Our D2C website and MVP launched in August. 90 days in, we've sold 150 units, making over $10,000 in revenue at above industry standard gross margin. On the B2B side, we're currently pitching to several local firms and one large national firm. This firm wants to use our gifts as an incentive to onboard to the rewards program, and we've had several productive conversations about how our gifts fit their needs. This deal is expected to be over a $1 million opportunity annually, and we estimate corporate gifting will eventually comprise over 70% of our total revenue. As Sunroot's founder, I bring experience in both e-commerce and fintech. After graduating from Georgetown in 2018, I went on to manage a $180 million P&L as a buyer at Walmart e-commerce and a $175 million P&L as a commercial manager at Klarna Bank. I have two seasoned advisors, Callie, who is currently a senior manager at Amazon, and Mariel, who is the head of people at Klarna US. My ask to close this pitch is feedback and a conversation. Please take a minute to check out our offering and let us know what you think. We're also looking for introductions to anyone with experience in this industry or anyone interested in discussing potential funding opportunities. Thank you, and we hope to see you in our breakout room.
Awesome pitch, Sunroot. I'm also super biased because Marin reached out to me before this whole program started, and she's selling some of our syrups in one of the gift boxes. So also, if any of you guys have businesses or anything like that, and you want to support for the holiday season, it seems like a great way to support your employees. So thank you so much, Marin. All right, next up, and this is our last. Let's see, last but certainly not least, we have Wellness Without Borders, led by Alejandro Correa. Alejandro graduated from the college in 2019. Get ready to hear how his business is changing therapy for Spanish speakers around the world. Close us out, Wellness Without Borders.
Hi, I'm Alejandro Correa. I am the founder of Wellness Without Borders, a teletherapy platform powered by Latinos for Latinos. With the onset of the pandemic, every single state in the US has faced a shortage in mental health professionals. And the Latino community has had a mental health crisis that has been growing due to the fact that Latinos are the ethnic group with the largest rate of uninsurance. The cultural barriers are also really concerning. From my experience, when speaking with a therapist that was not Latino, it often perpetuated my mental health struggles, especially when I spoke about my immigrant background. Last month, a top psychologist group apologized for its role in perpetuating racism because of how its science failed to support the mental health of people of color. In the US, only 5% of therapists can offer services in Spanish, and only 7% of psychologists identify as Latino. Culture is super important, which is why we prioritize it when leveraging mental health support. Wellness Without Borders is a coaching platform pairing Latin American therapists and psychologists with Spanish speakers globally for in-culture and in-language therapy sessions. We provide effective matchmaking, virtual sessions, and teach skills like mindfulness and DBT while offering seamless transactions and do not ask for insurance. That's to say, if you are someone like me that has ties to Colombia, you can speak with a therapist in your country of origin for no more than $60 an hour. We charge a 20% commission on every session, and fees are indexed based on the average cost of therapy in each respective country. Given that there are 437 million global Spanish speakers, this is an enormous market that has been largely untapped. On average, every session is $30 an hour, and at a 20% commission, this would generate $6 an hour per weekly session. Given that we aim to onboard 100,000 weekly users, this business model is projected to generate $28.8 million per year. McKinsey reported that telehealth post-COVID is expected to reach a $250 billion market, and given that the demand for psychologists in the Hispanic community is expected to surge by 30% by 2030, and that 34% of Latino adults are already seeking mental health support yearly, there are over 24.8 million Latinos that experience depression and are in market. Our team of Hoya alumni are from either first or second generation immigrant backgrounds that are really instrumental in providing the cultural base support for a Latino in the US. This year, we have been focused on piloting a test and proving our concept to begin global expansion so that we can reach 100,000 users by the end of 2023. My ask is to be connected with other mental health practitioners, preferably bilingual or Latino, or any experts in the telehealth industry. Thank you so much for your support.
All right. Hi, everyone. And on that note, I want to say huge congratulations to our cohort. You guys did it. Your pitches were awesome. We're really proud of all the work that you've done over the last 9 weeks, and it was really incredible to see it all come together in your videos. That being said, we know there are so many other alumni entrepreneurs out there that we want to be able to support. So if you've liked what you've learned about our program so far, please sign up for our Venture Lab newsletter to stay up to date on future cohorts or to just engage with our community. And once again, amazing job to all of our 13 companies today. And at this point, our formal programming for Demo Day concludes, and we will open breakout rooms. This is a great opportunity to get a deeper dive with our founders, learn more about their growth strategies, potential investment opportunities, or just say hi to some of the great people you met on screens today. How it works is we will have one company per breakout room, and I'm going to open them. So if you want to be able to see them, just click the 4 squares on the bottom of your toolbar in Zoom, and you can pick which companies you want to interact with. If you have any challenges accessing the breakout rooms, just hang on in the main room here with myself and Howard, and we will help you out. Or if you have any questions about the program, feel free to stay here and chat with us. Just overall, huge thank you to everyone coming out today to support the Georgetown Startup Accelerator, from our cohort members, our partners, mentors, guest speakers, and just anyone else in the community who has supported us along the way. We really could not have done it without you. So enjoy the breakout rooms and meeting the founders, and we can't wait to see you all at our next demo day. Thank you.
Woohoo.
Howard, can you hear me?
Hey, Dave, I can hear you.
Good. How are you?
I am well. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Trying to figure out. Yeah, my mom passed away last week, so we've been scrambling as a family to